My daughter screamed when I picked her up from grandma's. Not cried. Not fussed. She screamed like I was a stranger trying to grab her off the sidewalk. Don't touch me. Mommy says you're not my real dad. It felt like the air was sucked out of the world. Everything stopped. The birds, the breeze, the sound of traffic in the distance. Even grandma's face went blank, frozen with her purse halfway open. Lily clung to the porch column like her life depended on it. And I just stood there, keys in hand, trying to breathe. What? I finally said. Her lip trembled. She wiped her nose on her sleeve. You're not my real daddy. Mommy said so. I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because my brain short-circuited. She must be tired, I muttered to Grandma, who stared at me like I'd grown horns. She gets weird when she's tired. I had to coax her into the car like she was a scared puppy. She sat as far from me as she could, pressed against the door, arms crossed like a tiny judge passing a sentence I hadn't even heard yet. All I could think was, where the hell did that come from? My name's Ryan. I'm 34. Been married to Megan for 7 years. We have one daughter, Lily, 5 years old. The smartest, kindest, silliest little girl you could ever meet. She loves pancakes with too much syrup. She says her favorite color is rainbow. She calls me daddy. Or she did. I work construction. Mostly residential. I leave early, get home sore, sleep hard. Megan's a nurse. Night shifts. Weird hours. She sees things I don't ask about anymore. We argue sometimes, usually about money or dishes or who's more tired, but nothing major. We're not perfect, but we're solid. Or we were. When I got home, Megan was in the kitchen, half-dressed in scrubs, eating cold Chinese food with chopsticks. I didn't even say hi. I just walked in, put the keys down, and said, why the hell did Lily say I'm not her real dad? She froze, chopsticks still in her mouth, then slowly lowered the box. What? Today? At your mom's? She screamed at me. Wouldn't get in the car. She said you told her I'm not her real dad. Megan blinked hard, like her brain had skipped a gear. Ryan, I never said that. Why would I ever say that? That's not true. I have never. Then where did she hear it? I don't know. She looked scared. Genuinely scared. Not like someone who got caught in a lie. More like someone who just learned their house was haunted. Maybe a show? Or something at school. She said you told her. She didn't say she heard it on TV. Megan sat down slowly. Her hands were shaking. I swear to God, Ryan, I have never said that. I don't even know where she would. But my brain was already moving. Connecting dots I didn't want to look at. See, there was a time years ago, early in our marriage, when things weren't great. When Megan went out more than usual. When she said she needed space but wouldn't explain why. When we didn't talk much, just coexisted. Lily was born right after that. And I never questioned it. Because I wanted to believe. Because she looked like me at least a little. And because the alternative was unthinkable. Until today. Now I was thinking about every little moment that hadn't made sense. The friend Megan swore she hadn't seen in years. The weird tone in her mom's voice when she said, it's a good thing Lily has you. The way Megan used to flinch when I mentioned getting Lily a DNA test for her medical records. And now this. Lily, our daughter, telling me like it was fact, you're not my real dad. I stood in my own kitchen. Beside a woman I gave everything to. With a child I've loved more than life itself. And suddenly I didn't know who I was anymore. My wife swears she never said it. My daughter swears she heard it from her. And deep down I think I already know the truth. But I wasn't ready for what came next. Because 2 days later, I got a message. From a man I haven't heard from in 6 years. A name I thought I'd never see again. And the subject line? She lied to both of us. The message came in at 2:17 a.m. I was sitting in the living room in the dark, staring at Lily's old baby photos on my phone. Scrolling. Zooming. Staring. Looking for signs. Proof. Something in her nose or ears or eyes that screamed, she's yours. And then ping. A name lit up my inbox I hadn't seen in over 6 years. Zachary T. Blackwell. Subject line, she lied to both of us. I didn't open it right away. I just stared at the screen. My hand literally shook. Zach. He and Megan dated back in the early days. Not for long. A few months. But it ended ugly. He ghosted her after a fight. That's all she ever said. I only met the guy once at a college party long before Megan and I got serious. I remember him because of his eyes. Pale green, almost yellow. Freakish. Like a cat. Lily has those eyes. My stomach turned. I opened the message. Hey Ryan. I know this is going to come out of nowhere. But I think you and I need to talk. About Megan. And about Lily. She told me back then she was pregnant. I didn't believe her. I was a coward. I walked away. I didn't know she kept the baby. I only found out recently. Someone sent me a picture. She looks just like my sister did when we were little. I'm not trying to blow up your life. I just want to know the truth. Let me know if you want to talk. I'll respect whatever you decide. My ears rang. I read the message 10 times. I didn't reply. I didn't sleep. In the morning, I watched Lily eat cereal in her pajamas. She was giggling at some cartoon. Still 5. Still innocent. Still mine. But suddenly, every moment felt loaded. Her laugh. Her voice. The way she held the spoon. Was I just some background character in someone else's family photo? Megan walked into the kitchen, yawning, pretending like yesterday never happened. You're quiet, she said. I didn't answer. I told you, Ryan. I don't know where she got that idea. I would never say something like that. You believe me, right? I looked her in the eye. I got an email from Zach. She froze. What? Last night. He thinks Lily's his. Her eyes didn't move. She blinked once. That's it. I haven't talked to him in years. I raised my voice. Did you ever tell him you were pregnant? Silence. Her hands were shaking now. Ryan, please, answer the question. Did you tell him? Yes. I felt like the floor shifted beneath me. I told him. He didn't want anything to do with it. I was heartbroken. I thought I'd raise her alone. And then you came back into my life. So you lied to me. I didn't lie. Yes, you did. Lily peeked around the corner. I didn't even realize I was yelling. Megan rushed to her. Sweetie, go play in your room, okay? Daddy and I are just talking. Daddy. The word hit different now. After Lily left, I stood there, fists clenched, heart thudding in my ears. So what? I said. You just replaced him with me? You let me think she was mine? I didn't plan it like that, she whispered. I was scared. And then things felt right with you. You stepped up. You loved her. You were there. You were her dad, Ryan. You are. I said. And I walked out. I drove for 2 hours with no destination. I pulled into a park we used to take Lily to when she was a toddler. I sat on a bench and called the number from Zach's signature. He picked up on the first ring. Ryan? Yeah, it's me. A pause. I didn't think you'd actually call. I don't know what you want, but if this is about playing dad, forget it. I don't want to play anything, he said. I just want to know the truth. We talked for 10 minutes. He was calm, collected, almost too much so. He didn't ask to meet Lily, didn't make demands, just told me he'd take a DNA test if I wanted. The next day, I ordered 2 kits online. One for me, one for Lily, and I didn't tell Megan, because deep down, I already knew what the results would say. The test kits came in a plain white envelope. No branding, no bold letters, just sterile anonymity. It felt fitting, because by then, everything in my life felt like it had been stripped of color. Lily's giggles sounded hollow. Megan's smiles looked forced. Even my house, the walls I painted myself, the porch I built with my own 2 hands, didn't feel like mine anymore. I swabbed Lily's cheek while she was watching cartoons. Hold still, bug, I said, trying to keep my voice calm. She scrunched her nose. It tickles. I forced a smile. Just a game. Megan wasn't home. I waited until her shift started before I did it. Then I swabbed myself in the bathroom mirror and sealed both samples like they told me to. Dropped them off at the UPS drop box by the gas station. No ceremony. No big moment. Just quiet dread. And then I waited. Days passed like molasses. At work, I screwed up measurements. Nailed my thumb twice. The guys noticed. One of them finally asked, "You good, man?" I wasn't. At home, Megan tried to act like everything was fine. She cooked my favorite dinner. Put on that red sweater she knows I like. Tried to touch me in bed. I pulled away. She looked down at her hands. How long are you going to punish me? I didn't answer. Because I didn't have an answer. I wanted to hate her. I did. But every time I looked at Lily, I didn't feel betrayed. I felt broken. Because if the test said she wasn't mine, what did that make me? The results came 5 days later. They hit my inbox at 3:46 p.m. while I was still on site. I stared at the email for 10 minutes. Didn't even open it. Just stared at the subject line. Your DNA results are ready. I couldn't do it at work. I needed to be alone. I told my supervisor I had to leave early. Drove home like I was in a trance. Parked. Sat in the truck with the engine running. Heart pounding. And then, Megan called. I almost didn't answer. But she never calls during a shift unless it's serious. Hey, I said, trying to sound normal. Is Lily with you? My blood turned cold. What? No. Isn't she with your mom? She was. She was supposed to get dropped off after preschool. But Mom said she left her with me. I turned off the engine. Megan, I said slowly. What do you mean, she left her with you? She thought I was picking her up today. I thought you were. Ryan, I don't know where she is. I didn't wait. I threw the door open and ran into the house, yelling her name. Empty. No shoes by the door. No cereal bowls in the sink. No Lily. I checked the backyard. The bathroom. Under the damn bed. Nothing. Megan was crying now. I'm on my way. I'm driving home now. Call the school. I did. And that's when I learned something I wasn't prepared for. She was picked up at 2:10, the receptionist said. By who? Her mother. That's not possible. Her mother was at work. There was silence. Sir, the woman who picked her up signed her name. Megan Holloway. That's what it says on the sheet. My blood ran cold. Megan Holloway has a very specific tattoo, I said slowly. Did the woman who picked her up have a red rose on her right hand? Hold on. Clicking. No. No tattoo. I hung up, called Megan back. She didn't have the tattoo. What? Whoever picked her up wasn't you. Now she was panicking. Oh my God. Oh my God. What if? I'm calling the police. And I did. 15 minutes later, 2 officers were in my living room. I gave them the description of Lily, her usual backpack, what she was wearing this morning. One of them asked for the name of anyone who might want to take her. And the first name that came to my lips was Zach. I didn't want to believe it, couldn't believe it, but the timing, the message dot, the test dot, the silence. I pulled up his email, looked for a phone number. Nothing. I checked the call log from the day I spoke to him. Blocked. No number listed. I couldn't call him, but he could reach me, so I sent an email. Where is my daughter? No reply. Not then. Not an hour later. Not after the police left with promises to check traffic cams and school pickup footage. And not after Megan came home, sobbing into her hands like the world was ending. I sat on the couch, staring at the door, waiting for someone to knock, waiting for a scream, waiting for the truth. And then, at 1:12 a.m., my phone buzzed. One message. No sender. No subject. Just one photo. A picture of Lily, sitting on a bed, smiling. Behind her, a wall, with a photo of a man. Zach. The photo haunted me. Lily, sitting on the edge of a bed I didn't recognize, wearing the same purple unicorn hoodie from that morning, smiling like she was safe, like she was happy. But behind her, a picture frame on the wall. Zach's face, clear as day. I showed the photo to the cops. They took it seriously, ran it through facial recognition, confirmed it was Zachary Blackwell, 36, last known address in Michigan. No criminal record, no custody rights either. He has no legal claim to her, one officer said. He could be charged with parental abduction. I nodded, but my chest felt like it was cracking open. Because here's the part one haven't told you. The DNA results? I opened them, and they confirmed what I already knew. 0% probability of paternity. I am not Lily's biological father. I wanted to scream, punch a wall, burn the paper. Instead, I printed it, folded it into my wallet, and kept it like a scar. Megan was a wreck, couldn't eat, couldn't stop pacing. I never told him where we live, she kept saying. He must have found it somehow. Online, maybe. Or someone told him. Did you tell anyone else he might be Lily's father? She hesitated. My sister. A long time ago, when Lily was born. I closed my eyes. Did your sister ever post pictures of her? I don't know. She did. We found an old Facebook post. Megan's sister. Tagging Megan. Caption. Lily looks more like her real dad every day. The photo had over 50 likes. Zach's name wasn't among them, but that didn't mean he hadn't seen it. The cops started tracking his IP from the email. They said it might take time. I didn't have time, so I made a decision. I replied to the photo message. We need to talk, man to man. No cops, no lawyers, just you and me. Let's settle this. An hour later, I got a reply. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Lincoln Park. Come alone. I didn't tell Megan. I didn't tell the police. I just showed up. He was already there, sitting on a bench like he owned the place. Hoodie, jeans, ball cap low, and Lily, standing in front of him holding a juice box. She ran to me the second she saw me. Daddy! and my knees nearly gave out. I scooped her up, held her so tight she squeaked. "I missed you," she said. I looked up. Zach was still sitting, watching us. "You didn't have to take her," I said, voice low. "You could have called. You could have. She's my daughter," he said. "You don't get to decide that after 5 years of silence." "I didn't know," he snapped. "She lied to both of us. Don't act like you're the only one who got screwed." I raised her. I kissed her bruises. I taught her how to tie her shoes. "You don't get to walk in now and play daddy because you share some DNA." He stood. "She deserves to know who she is." "She already knows," I said. "She knows I love her. She looks like me. She acts like me." We were standing inches apart now. 2 men, 2 versions of truth. One little girl watching, clutching my hand. "What are you going to do?" I asked. "I could go to court," he said. "I've already talked to someone. I've got proof. The DNA. Messages. Photos." "So what? You want full custody?" "No," he said quietly. "I want shared." My jaw clenched. "She's not a toy you can borrow on weekends. I just want time. That's all. I want her to know I exist. That I care." I looked at Lily. Her eyes, his eyes, were staring up at both of us. Confused. Scared. I knelt down beside her. "Bug," I said softly, "who do you want to go home with today?" She looked from me to Zach. Then back. "Home," she whispered. "With you." I picked her up and walked away. Zach didn't follow. He didn't say a word, but I felt his eyes on my back the whole way to the car. Back home, Megan tried to pretend everything was fine again. She made Lily hot chocolate, asked about the park. I didn't answer. I went into the garage, closed the door, and finally let myself cry. Because I realized something. I could win every argument. I could burn every bridge. But if Zach took this to court, I might lose my daughter anyway. The court summons came 2 weeks later. Thick white envelope. Certified mail. Blackwell versus Holloway. Petition for establishment of parental rights. I read it 3 times. Then I sat at the kitchen table for almost an hour, just staring at the floor. Megan stood in the doorway, hands shaking. I thought he said he just wanted time. "He did," I said quietly. "And now he's taking it." He was filing for legal paternity, visitation, joint custody. The documents included the DNA results. Photos. A written statement from Zach saying Megan had deliberately concealed the identity of his biological daughter. They called me Ryan Holloway, presumed father. Presumed. After 5 years of bedtime stories, birthday parties, skin knees, and whispered "I love yous," that word broke me. I was just a placeholder. A stand-in. Megan burst into tears. "This is my fault. All of it." I didn't argue. Because she was right. But even if she hadn't lied, even if she'd been honest from the start, it still wouldn't change the fact that I was powerless now. No matter how much I loved Lily, the law might not care. "I'll fight it," I said. "You don't have to do this alone," she whispered. I looked at her. Really looked at her. "Don't I?" She couldn't answer that. "We hired a lawyer. Not a cheap one. I emptied half my savings. Borrowed the rest from my brother. He told me not to worry. That no judge in their right mind would take a little girl away from the only dad she's ever known. But he didn't read the case file. I did. Zach was pulling every legal thread he could find. He had proof Megan lied. Proof I wasn't the bio dad. He had stable employment, a clean record, even a letter from a child psychologist about the importance of biological identity. It was war. The hearing was set for 6 weeks out. Every day leading up to it was torture. I started picking Lily up early from school. Spending every free second with her. Recording her laugh, her little songs, her stories about the cloud that looked like a dinosaur if you squint hard enough. She didn't know what was coming. I didn't have the heart to tell her. Then, 3 days before the hearing, I came home to find Megan waiting in the kitchen. Pale, quiet, eyes rimmed red. "We need to talk," she said. I sat. "I lied again," she whispered. "Not about Lily this time. About before. About Zach." My blood went cold. "What about him?" She swallowed hard. "He didn't leave me. I left him." I stared. "What?" "I told you he ghosted me. That he didn't want the baby. But that wasn't true. He wanted to step up. But I didn't trust him. He was wild back then. Drank too much. Got into fights. He scared me. So I ran." "You told him she wasn't his." She nodded. "I told him I got rid of it. That it wasn't his anyway." "And then what?" "You just picked me instead." Tears welled up in her eyes. "No. I didn't pick you. You showed up. And you were safe. Kind. And Lily was already growing inside me, and I needed to believe I could rewrite it. That maybe she could still have a good life if I just." I stood up so fast the chair scraped the floor. "You built our whole marriage on a lie." I was young. I was scared. I didn't know what else to do. You should have told me. She sobbed. I know. I walked out before I said something I couldn't take back. The night before the hearing, I lay awake listening to Lily snore softly through the baby monitor. A sound I'd memorized. A sound that once brought me peace. Now it felt like a countdown. The courtroom was cold. Sterile. Zach sat across from me in a gray suit. He didn't look smug. He looked nervous. Determined, but human. The judge was a woman in her 60s. Stern. Focused. No nonsense. Each side made their case. Megan was questioned first. Her lies came out. The judge didn't look impressed. Then it was my turn. My lawyer asked me what Lily meant to me. I tried to answer, but my throat locked. So I just said, she's my heart. No matter what blood says. Then Zach spoke. He told the truth. That he didn't know. That he wanted to. That when he saw her picture, something inside him snapped. I know I wasn't there, he said. But I want to be now. I want her to know me. Not to replace anyone. Just to be part of her life. I hated him. But I couldn't say he was lying. The judge recessed for 2 hours. When we came back, she read the ruling. Zach was granted legal paternity and partial custody. Visitation would begin gradually. Supervised at first. Then unsupervised. A full co-parenting plan was ordered. And I was allowed to remain on the birth certificate. I wasn't erased. But I wasn't alone anymore. Lily would have 2 fathers. One who helped create her. And one who raised her. It's been 4 months since the ruling. And my life doesn't look anything like it used to. Lily splits her time now, part of the week with me and Megan, part with Zach. We have a color-coded calendar on the fridge. Green days are mine. Blue are his. Megan has yellow, the overlap days, school pickups, dance practice, doctor appointments. It's a system. Not a perfect one. But we're trying. That's the thing people don't tell you about custody battles. They don't end in court. They start there. And then they bleed into your kitchen, your holidays, your Saturdays. They haunt your inbox and your calendar and your grocery list. They become your new normal. Zach has been decent, respectful, careful. He sends photos when they're out, ice cream, playgrounds, the zoo. He asks before introducing her to anyone new. He doesn't call himself dad yet. He asked Lily what she wanted to call him. She picked Z. And somehow that hurts more than if she'd called him daddy. Because it's hers. She chose it. It's real. Megan and I? We're in therapy. It's not romantic anymore. We still live in the same house for Lily's sake. But we sleep in different rooms. Some nights we talk. Some nights we don't. There's no more pretending. We're parents. Partners in that. But not in anything else. Lily's been quiet through most of it. She doesn't ask many questions. But I see it in her, the way she watches us now. Like she's learning what truth looks like. And what it costs. Then, last week, I found something. It was a folded piece of paper in her backpack. Crayon drawing on one side, a stick figure family, a house, a rainbow. On the back, in messy, 5-year-old handwriting. I love you, Daddy. Z is nice, but you are my first heart. I sat at the kitchen table for a long time just holding that note. Because for months, I've been trying to figure out who I am. If I still matter. If I was still her father in any way that counted. And then she gave me the answer. You don't need DNA to be someone's first heart. You just need to show up. Through the tantrums. Through the lies. Through the courts and the calendars and the chaos. You show up. And you stay. I still tuck her in on green nights. Still do the voices when we read Goodnight Moon. Still braid her hair even though I'm awful at it. Still hold her when she has nightmares. She still calls me daddy. And when she says it now, I don't hear ownership. Or biology. I hear a choice. I hear love. This wasn't the life I planned. But maybe it's the one I was meant for. Maybe fatherhood isn't about bloodlines. Maybe it's about showing up when someone screams your name and not walking away. Maybe that's all it ever was. So yeah, Zach shares custody now. But Lily? Lily still holds my hand first. She still reaches for me when she's scared. And when she falls asleep on the couch during movie night, it's still my chest she curls into. Not because I'm the only dad, but because I was the first one who stayed.